Yeah, I don't want him to try and drop.
Dude, he's pissed. Look at his colors.
Yeah, he's starting to get dark.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Dan with Danstop Reptiles. I'm here with Keith from Gecko Grow Room. Say hi, dude.
Hi, dude.
Nice. So today's episode, we're gonna take you on a quick tour of Keith's Gecko Grow Room, as he puts it, and show you a couple of his crested geckos. That's what this episode is going to focus on, is the crested geckos, though you have other reptiles. Today's episode is just going to be about crested geckos. So let's get started here. All right, so how long have you been keeping crested geckos for?
Not very long, truthfully. About a year and a half now.
Nice. So was there any particular crested geckos that you liked more than others, or was it just something that you started out with? I mean, where did a lot of these come from is what I'm wondering.
Well, the one you're looking at on the screen right now is actually my first crested gecko. His name's Clyde.
Clyde.
Yeah, I acquired him off of Craigslist from somebody that was keeping him in poor conditions. I felt bad, and I wanted one, so he was my first.
So you might see that more often than not. You know, some people just pick up crested geckos and they don't know how to care for them properly, and then you take them in, and I know a lot of us, we start out with like exoterras and the coconut husk substrate and vines and lots of plants and all that. But I noticed a lot of yours now, you keep them in the sterilite tubs, and we both kind of learned that it's better for them, it's easier to take care of them, better husbandry. And not that they even notice a difference, but I think it's overall just the better way to go, right?
In my opinion, absolutely. It's easier to have and keep up with better husbandry when it's not a big hassle to empty out a glass tank and carry it outside and hose it out, or whatever you may do.
Yeah, just change out, paper towels and stuff like that. It's a lot easier than a lot of poop and coconut husk, scooping it and all that.
Yeah, and much like the leopard geckos, I honestly believe they feel more comfortable in the tubs, closed up, in like racks, versus a big glass tank that's easily
Right.
penetrated.
It's easier to keep them, in the tubs, and also use the heat tape and all that for the leopard geckos, give them belly heat. But the crested geckos are more of a tropical species. They require less heat, less, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that don't require a UVB. Is that right?
It's a matter of opinion. There's nothing wrong with not providing UVB. I don't. Some people believe it is required. Some people believe it's not. It is beneficial always to provide, but not necessary for the crested geckos, in my opinion.
True. All right, so what's the one we're looking at now?
Right now we're looking at one of the babies that I got from AC Reptiles in the auction, my first auction. That's a quad stripe. It's a very nice gecko. It's hard to kind of see both sides of the laterals, but it's got perfect striping.
Nice. So after making the jump from Craigslist to actually reaching out to reputable breeders and, other gecko people across the globe, or really the States. I don't want to say like Europe and Australia and China and all that.
Not yet.
Yeah. So was there anything specific that you were looking for, or was it like, that's nice, I like that, I want it, and you just kind of picked them out from there?
Definitely quality. That was just number one. I wanted to be able to say that my breeders or the babies that I'm offering for sale that I didn't produce all came from very reputable sources such as Pangea, Tiki's Geckos, Anthony Caponetto Reptiles, just to name a few.
Just dropping some names there. See, a lot of mine, I had bred, or a friend of mine had bred and sold me a couple of babies, and now they're up to adult size, and I've kept them for years. But it was never something that I really looked too deep into. But yours, it seems, you've got them from people who've been breeding them for years, and the quality definitely shows. You weren't wrong about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I also forgot on Altitude Exotics. I can't not bring that name up. We'll see two of the babies that I acquired from a breeding trio of his. They'll be coming up later in this video.
Right. So what's this one that we're looking at now?
This one that we're looking at now is one of the babies I got from Pangea. I got that order before the AC order, so they're a little bit bigger. Those were, I requested mostly tigers and dowels. I got a few harlequins.
I love the Dalmatian horse, man. That's my favorite by far. Is more spots the better.
Oh yeah.
See, this one's got a couple of spots.
Yeah. That one's got a little bit of the funky little furry trait going on, you can see, as well as some reverse pinning,
if
it'll hold still.
Yeah.
It's got some nice spots on it too, which I know you just said you love.
Yeah, it's my favorite for sure. Look at it just hopping around. So there it is. That's a good shot of it.
Yeah. You can see the shadow of the reverse pins.
Okay, so that's like a reverse pin, Dalmatian.
Yeah. Possible phantom. I'm pretty sure it's looking like it's going to be a phantom, like it's phantom.
Right.
Which is just a gene that mutes out the pattern of the distinct pattern of flame or harlequin.
All right, so now there's this one. It's a little lighter tone.
Yeah.
Where did this one come from?
This is another Pangea baby. It's a tiger dow.
Jeez, that looks so cool.
This is the one, I'm calling it peppered lip. It's got a big cluster of spots on its left side. You'll see it later.
Yeah.
This is another Pangea baby.
A couple more Dalmatian spots on that one.
It's very dark when it fires up. I don't think it really fired up in this video, but it's almost black and orange.
Yeah. Now this one, you said it had like a tangerine trait.
Yeah, this is a tangerine. It's from Anthony Caponetto.
So that's an AC.
Yeah, AC Reptiles.
Now, is this the same one? Which one's this?
This one is different. The pins on this one are more full. This one's, like a 95, 80 at least % pinstripe.
Yeah, you can see there's a little break on the end there, but it's got a nice pinstripe down its back.
Yeah, and that one has a nice tangerine to it as well. We got a few of those from him.
Now there's this one. It's a little darker, maybe a little less striped down its back. It's got 2 breaks towards the back leg. I see that.
About a 50% pin. It's broken up. It's pretty cool. Fires up really dark. It's going to be like empty back.
Yeah, now this one, is that a full pin? Oops. Which one is this? Can you tell which one this is?
This one is an extreme Harlequin. Came from the same AC order.
Okay.
If you get a Harlequin from him, it's always extreme. He doesn't sell any normals.
See, that's good, you know, knowing where they come from and what you're getting. I think that's actually crucial when it comes to raising crested geckos if you're really serious about it, as opposed to, you know, a layman just saying, I want a crested gecko, and they pick out whatever they think is cool and pay whatever they want for it and enjoy it just as a pet. But it seems like you've got a little more going on, picking out ones that you've actually done your research and enjoy and want to see future projects with.
Yeah, I've got plans. That's the important part, is I'm trying to be smart about where I put my money, what I want to do with it, what I hope to produce, and the look I'm going for.
Well, you've definitely invested and reinvested a lot more than I have as far as the crested geckos go.
Yeah, I've spent a good amount of money. Definitely got a good amount of dirty looks on occasion as well.
Yeah, now this one we actually really like. It's got the dark chocolate spot to the face. It covers most of its head, actually.
Yeah, it's got a very dark face. It's almost menacing looking.
Yeah, look at it. Now, that doesn't have a full stripe on it either. I see a little break right near the tail.
Yeah,
but
it's
still
it's
really nice.
It's a nice near full pin, like
It's a nice
about
pattern,
95% or so. Yeah, it's a nice dark orange to red.
Mm-hmm. And I noticed a lot of yours, they still have their tails. I noticed some of them, you know, they'll drop their tails. And with crested geckos, once they drop it, that thing is gone.
Yeah.
You have, we call it a frog butt.
Yeah.
And a lot of people agree that that's pretty much like the terminology that people use. Oh, look at this guy. It's the same one, right?
Yeah, that's the same guy. Came off of the wood.
Yeah. Still, a lot of these are pretty chill. That's something that, you know, as long as you handle them and keep them close, you know, as they raise up, you know, they're really chill when they sit in your hand like that. I really like that about crested geckos. A lot of people think that they're super jumpy, but I think once you handle it enough and let it used to, you know, being handled and picked up, they might actually tame out a little bit more.
For sure. With the babies, I'm definitely extra careful, though. I keep handling somewhat minimal, but you know, you have to when you're cleaning here and there. You got the attempted escape.
Yeah.
I believe this is the peppered lip I was talking about earlier. We'll get a better shot. It's on the left side. That's a project that I'm going to be working on. Hopefully it'll go somewhere. Nice clusters of spots. It just kind of reminded me of when you over pepper your food.
Yeah, right. Just get crumbs all over your face. Yeah, this one's actually really cool. Where did that one come from?
That one came from the Pangea order.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tiger Dow.
See, that one's sweet. See, you keep them in a lot of tubs, and you actually, you know, custom made them yourself, and that's something I really appreciate. Is, you know, I've done a couple of them, but never the amount that you have. There's Gizmo.
It takes a lot of time, that's for sure. I spent a lot of hours doing all that. Seems never ending.
Yeah, right. Now, this is one that I actually started out as a little baby and got it from a breeder that was local, and you know, he had a couple of the Dalmatian spots on it, and I fell in love with this little, there's me. Yeah, that's Gizmo. It's our little Dalmatian. You know, he's a cool gecko, and I actually passed him along to you, and he's actually the sire of your first clutch of eggs.
Yes. Very excited about that. Very grateful. I paired him to Onyx, who you'll get to see here shortly, which is my big breeder female that I got from Kate. over at Kate's Colorful Cresteds.
And this one's Clyde from earlier.
Yeah, that's my
your first one.
Yep.
Yeah, he's as we call a frog butt.
Yeah.
But I really like his pattern. I like how light he is. You know, really chill gecko. He's pretty heavy.
He fires up like brick red. A lot of these guys
Really?
wouldn't fire up for the footage, of course.
Well, they're just chilling.
Yeah.
You know, they're not too angry about it. There's Onyx.
There's
Woo!
Onyx. Yeah, she's Harlequin, Dow, crowned. She's got a
Big
head.
girl, yeah.
Yeah.
She's big.
Nice big head, long crests, orange and red to her. I'm excited to see what her and Gizmo produce.
Right.
The yellows with the reds and oranges.
She's got a really nice tail on her, full tail.
Yeah.
I like that. I've heard a lot of females drop their tails when it's breeding season if the males, you know, come up at them and just like a reaction that
they could get startled.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Although I've also heard people have said that their crested gecko dropped their tail after like a cricket snuck up on it. Oh yeah, they're up close. She's a big girl.
Yeah, she is.
She'll produce some real pretty babies too.
It's the biggest cresty I have at the moment.
Nice. Look at the size
I'm
of her.
actually waiting on her third clutch in this next week, so we'll see what I get from that.
Ooh, now that's the Phantom, right?
Yeah, that's a Phantom. I bought that from Tiki's Geckos as a little baby, just like all the ones you saw earlier.
Dang, dude, that thing's grown up so much.
Oh yeah, it's turning out really nice. It's like a bright orange, like high contrast, really dark markings. And it's looking female, so that's always nice.
Yeah, that's always good. Yeah, I've had what I thought were probable females and then turned out to be a male like 3 months later, and it's like, dang it.
Yeah.
But you live and you learn. Starts to get a little easier as you raise up a couple more and you have an easier way of identifying males from females.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't see a bulge and they're like, oh, it's a female, but what they don't know is about the pores on the scales. You know,
Yep.
You get a jeweler's loop, or even if they're somewhat big enough and you're staying still, you can look with your naked eye really close for long enough, you'll be able to see little dark indentations in the center of the scales and above their vent.
True.
And those are pores, femoral pores.
I have an easier time sexing leopard geckos, but you've really done a lot more research on the cresties. I can appreciate that.
Thank
Damn,
you.
that Phantom's so cool.
Yeah.
Now, which is this one?
This is one of the babies that was produced by that trio from Brian Butler, Altitude Exotics.
Okay.
So I've got pictures all the way back to grandparents of this gecko, as well as its sibling, which is coming up next.
Wow.
They're two very nice harlequins. He's near full pin.
That's got a couple of Dalmatian spots on it too.
Yeah, that one has got a good amount of spots on it, more so in person than you probably even can see.
Yeah, a lot of these are super cool. Now
There's
there's
the
that one.
sibling.
Yeah, that one's really sweet.
That one is a full pin.
Okay, you can
almost
see that.
Quad
Yeah,
stripe. It's got a nice orange, yellow.
Now, when that one fires up, what kind of color is that?
It's real similar. The oranges and the yellows are obviously more vibrant.
Oh, now
Kinda
there's
just darkens the base.
There's, I think they call it was the buck skin.
Yeah, this is kind of almost like a patternless buckskin type deal. Very red. It's got
Extremely red.
white spots as well as a few black spots. Lately, as it's growing, I almost think I noticed a couple red spots too, which I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I like that one too.
That one was actually another one that somebody just didn't have the time for anymore. It was
Really?
smaller. Yeah, that one.
Dude, that one's awesome though.
That one was given to me.
Really? Lucky. I like that one.
It didn't look like that when I got it. It looked just little and brown.
Wow. Yeah,
So
these
they
things
change
are,
a lot.
yeah, they've grown up. I've seen them when they first came in, and now seeing as they've sized up a little bit.
In the grow room.
That's
growing.
right. That's right. Definitely taking care of business over here. And you feed them mostly the Pangea diet, right?
Yeah, I have a little Rapashi. I pretty much just stick with the Pangea, the red with insects, BSFL.
Yeah, the Pangea and the
mix-
Repashy is definitely the better way to go.
Yeah, I'll mix that with the breeder formula,
There you go.
50-50.
Now these are the eggs produced by Onyx and Gizmo,
Yeah.
and you actually do a little candling demonstration here. Now this is an easy way to indicate if it's a fertile egg versus an infertile egg.
Yeah, this first one is fertile. Kind of might not think so
Ooh.
at first, but that's the infertile right there.
Infertile one.
And the other one is further along. That was her first. The first time she laid one single. She was a virgin when I got her. Never
So that's
been
her
bred.
first clutch of eggs.
That's her first egg ever right there. It's fertile.
Right.
You'll see a little better right here. And the other two she laid, and I just threw them both in there because I was kind of unsure, but I figured why not. And it ended up being a good way to show the difference between
that's
fertile
definitely
and
an
infertile.
indicator when it's like more of a pinkish red versus that bright yellow.
Yeah, highlighter.
That's empty.
Noticeably
so
bigger
you
and
can really
swollen,
tell,
too.
yeah. Well, that about does it for the full tour. I mean, we got to show you a couple of really nice crested geckos, and more videos to come soon. Hopefully, once these eggs hatch, we can introduce the babies and take it from there.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys.
Woo!